In ancient Rome, plebeians made up the broad majority of Roman citizens, distinct from the aristocratic patricians. Their hereditary status was established during census records. Origin of the term. The exact origins of the term plebeian are uncertain, but it might derive from the Greek word plethos, meaning masses. In Latin, plebs referred collectively to this group, though they were never uniform as a social class. Historical context. Ancient historians, such as Livy, describe the patrician-plebeian divide as dating back to Rome's founding by Romulus. Modern scholars suggest the distinction emerged between Rome's monarchy period and the late 5th century BC. Some historians propose that plebeians originally immigrated from elsewhere in Italy, although evidence for this is limited. Alternatively, patricians may have consolidated power through exclusive control over priestly offices or by forming a wealthy elite after Rome ended monarchy. In the early Republic, Rome recognized 43 clans, 10 clearly plebeian. Initially, birth distinctions had limited significance until the Republic's formation. Ancient sources often depict early Republican plebeians as politically marginalized. However, some historians challenge this, pointing out plebeian magistrates existed early on. Still, patricians increasingly controlled higher political positions, reinforcing class separation by restricting intermarriage. Plebeians served actively in Rome's military, holding officer ranks like tribuni militum. They were organized within curiae and tribal structures. The conflict of the orders marked a long struggle by plebeians for political equality. Traditionally, plebeians protested patrician domination through dramatic actions, including mass withdrawals from Rome, part mutiny, part strike. This conflict allegedly resulted in key reforms like publishing the 12 Tables around 494 BC, establishing foundational legal equality, libertas. Plebeians gained their representatives, the tribunes, who defended their interests. Later, consular tribunes temporarily allowed shared rule, and the Lex Canulea, 445 BC, legalized marriages between plebeians and patricians. Important reforms in 367-6 BC abolished consular tribunes, creating a dual consul system mandating at least one plebeian consul. From 342 BC, plebeians consistently attained consulships. Debt bondage ended in 326 BC, and by 287 BC, plebiscites, plebeian assembly laws, applied to all Romans through Lex Hortensia. Around 300 BC, plebeians also gained access to priestly roles, removing a major social barrier. Historians debate these accounts, suspecting late Republican politics influenced narratives of early Republican struggles. Historical evidence suggests plebeians held political power earlier than traditionally portrayed, indicating different early Republican governance. Rise of noble plebeians. Plebeian emancipation contributed significantly to Rome's Republican ideals, creating nobiles, elite individuals defined by political achievements rather than birth alone. This group emphasized military and public achievements, alongside family heritage. During the Second Samnite War, 326 to 304 BC, plebeians gaining political positions acquired nobilitas, elite status. Cooperation between plebeians and patricians became common, with joint consulships frequently repeated. Historian Mommsen identified nobiles as prominent individuals holding curule offices, consuls, praetors, curule aediles. Individuals rising without familial status were known as novi homines, new men, like Cicero and Marius, who became prominent despite lacking noble lineage. By the late Republic, influential Romans like Pompey and Crassus were plebeian nobles. Later, Roman period. Eventually, the term plebeian referred less to hereditary status and more to citizens of lower economic standing. In the early empire, plebeian specifically described those outside senatorial or equestrian classes. Daily life. Plebeian daily life remains less documented than patrician life due to widespread illiteracy among plebeians. Education and family. Most plebeian children received limited education, typically basic reading, writing, and arithmetic taught by parents. Wealthier plebeians had formal schooling or private tutors. Family structures were patriarchal, with the paterfamilias holding complete authority and women maintaining subordinate roles. Housing urban plebeians, plebs urbana, commonly lived in multi-story apartment buildings known as insulae. These structures lacked amenities like running water or heating and varied in quality, often lacking kitchens or bathrooms. Emperor Augustus unsuccessfully tried limiting their height due to safety risks. Wealthier plebeians occupied more comfortable private houses, domus. Others lived in crowded lodging houses, diversoria, or timber-framed shops, tabernae, which opened directly onto streets. Clothing plebeian men usually wore woolen tunics secured at the waist, accompanied by sandals. Plebeian women wore the stola, a lengthy dress. Fashion remained consistent, though hairstyles and facial hair preferences evolved. Bright colors, simple jewelry, and some cosmetics were typical. Diet and entertainment, with meat rare and costly. Plebeian diets primarily included bread and vegetables seasoned with herbs, vinegar, honey, and garum, fish sauce. Lacking home kitchens, many plebeians bought meals from street vendors. Entertainment involved attending gladiatorial events, chariot races, festivals, and military parades. Dice games, alea, were also popular. Politicians often hosted events to earn public favor. Economic conditions. Urban plebeians frequently faced unstable employment, low wages, and high living costs. Cicero noted urban wages exceeded rural wages significantly, though high city living expenses diminished purchasing power. To climb socially, some plebeians sold themselves or their children into slavery to enter wealthy households. Another path to social advancement was military service, particularly following Marius's reforms, which provided soldiers with steady pay, pensions, loot shares, and land allocations. Citizenship opportunities were available to non-citizen soldiers who met stringent enlistment criteria. Understanding the life of plebeians offers essential insight into the complexities and evolution of Roman society. Their struggles and achievements shaped the Republic profoundly, leaving a legacy still influential today. If you enjoyed this exploration of ancient Rome, please like, share, and subscribe for more fascinating journeys into history.